Travis Wayne Goodsell. By their fruit ye shall know them. Chad and Lori Vallow, or Chad Daybell, Lori Vallow, murdered and dismembered their kids. Governor Herbert hesitated to shut down everything, caused an escalation in coronavirus, then opened up businesses too early, escalated coronavirus, more lives died. Then opened up schools, escalated coronavirus, more lives died. President Russell M. Nelson of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints followed Governor Herbert's lead as a medical doctor. Helped to escalate the virus, Mormons died. Opened up with Governor Herbert, going to church, then opening up the temples, then opening up the businesses of the church, escalating the virus, more lives died. Yeah, seeing a pattern. You'd have to be pretty lame and evil to not recognize that the fruits of all of these people are just pure evil. That nobody in their right mind would ever follow them. And yet, surely the Lord God will do nothing, save he shall revealeth his secrets unto his servants the prophets. We can compare President Russell M. Nelson to Moses. Moses had a coronavirus too. Moses told everybody to stay home until the virus passed over. That's why we call it Passover. It's not a Jewish holiday, but only the Jews celebrate it. It's an Israelite holiday, which means everybody celebrates it. But nobody does. And so here we have Evangelicals. Love their Bible, but yet when a coronavirus comes around, they're just like Mormons. They're in denial, call it a hoax, refuse to follow the advice of the staff with the serpent, and they get sick, virus escalates, people die. There's an anti-vaxxer, or not, well, yeah, there's that too in Utah, but there's also an anti-masker movement in Utah. What are the consequences? By their fruits we shall know whether not wearing masks is a good idea or not. Sure enough, coronavirus escalates, people die. Choosing not to wear a mask is dumb. But I can see their confusion because Governor Herbert has opened up the businesses again and opened up the church and opened up schools. So if he's opening everything, then there's no state of emergency. If there's no state of emergency, there's no need to wear a mask. That's what Herbert just cannot comprehend. Or maybe he does. That if you're going to tell people that everything's fine, and that we can go back to our normal lives, but then force everybody to wear a mask, that ain't going to fly with people. If there's a serious illness that needs to be taken care of, people need to be sent home. A state of emergency declared. And the economy be damned, as we need to organize charity handouts of food, sanitation, so that people can stay home and stay safe. If they had done that from the beginning, rather than delaying and causing the escalation before finally listening to the health professionals, which is not listening to the health professionals if you think you can solve it on yourself. And Nelson is a medical doctor. He knew better. We don't have a vaccine, but at least we could have ensured that it did not exist in Utah. And then all we had to do was open back up when the several weeks have gone by, and then make sure that anybody coming into our state is tested as well. But nope. So now we have to live with the consequences as the virus escalates and people die. The saddest thing is that people still follow these mass genocidal murderers. Nelson, a medical doctor, murdering Mormons, and Mormons still follow him. Oh, I'm going to wait for him to tell me what to do. I'm not going to listen to you, Travis. I don't care if you were right about the hurricanes that were coming into the Gulf this week. I told you guys about it last week. You know, yeah, I didn't have the porn, LDS temple porn in my thing, so very few people came to it. But I left it open for comments and thumbs up and thumbs down. This was not something I wanted to hold back from anybody. And 3 people, thumbs down, for all to see. There's a mandatory evacuation across the whole Gulf Coast. And they just started warning people about it this weekend. Whereas I had been warning you a week in advance. I'd been warning you about Trump. I finally had one guy find an old video of mine saying, wow, you were right about Trump. Yeah. I don't have as many people telling me that the video I did about the signs in the heaven are BS and that they're going to wait for Nelson to tell them about the signs. Again, I've proven right. Mormons have been led astray. You've been deceived. We all have. I was Mormon, born and raised. I still am. I've not been excommunicated. I did the video about my Mormon story. And, you know, it's not John DeLynn interviewing me. It's me doing it. Me telling my story, not John DeLynn wanting me to tell a specific story that he wants me to tell. Mormons have chosen death rather than life. Not just spiritual death, but physical death. You are like evangelicals who chose to follow QAnon. As you get angry, you get violent, you get abusive. How dare people tell you that you're doing something wrong? I hope no big disaster happens other than the coronavirus. I mean, we're almost halfway to the amount of deaths we had in World War II. But there's more promise to come. The Scourge was just one of them in Section 45. Let me see if I can find it real quick and end the video here. Yep. Scourge for a desolating sickness shall cover the land. That's a unique Latter-day sign. There's other variations of it. An overflowing scourge for a desolating sickness shall cover the land. Coronavirus. Which then, because I understand the real church history, makes me wonder that that evangelical South Korean group that went into a location in China and then traveled all over the world spreading the virus, that does seem to indicate that that was purposely designed to fulfill Revelation, the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. And that requires a level of evil beyond the lowest level of evil. To think that you're the good guy for fulfilling biblical prophecy of doom and death, carnage and destruction, yeah, that's even lower than Mr. Glass. If you've seen the Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson, is it trilogy or did they get to 4? I think, I can't remember. But yeah, the first one, Unbreakable, Samuel L. Jackson reveals how he was causing big disasters, calamities, so that he could find Bruce Willis, not for the purpose of fulfilling worldwide destruction. It says, among my disciples, but my disciples shall stand in holy places and shall not be moved. Unfortunately, we did not do that as Mormons. Nelson sent us to our deaths. And you may think, oh, well, he's opened up the temples again, Travis. We can go stand in holy places. Not when you're sick. You end up spreading the disease in the temple. And remember, the destruction begins with the apostasy in the Mormon temple. At my house shall it begin. And it's not the Mormons that are bad, it's the corruption of the leaders of the church. Jeremiah even goes over that. And it shall come to pass that he that feareth me shall look forth for the great day of the Lord to come, even for the signs of the coming of the Son of Man. I'm the only one who's been telling you about him. There have been others who have thrown out some signs in a video and they think they've connected it. They have no clue as to what they symbolize. I'm the only one who tells you what the signs symbolize. And that's why people don't like it, is because it's not positive, happy, good feeling news. But that's the whole point of the signs. They're not meant to be good, happy feeling, warm, fuzzy feelings. They're meant to warn you. They're meant to help you understand who it is you're supposed to be looking for. The learning of the Jews, Mormons. That is our doctrine. It is not the learning of the Constantinian Christians, regardless of which branch off you want to follow. My mother chose to follow Billy Graham. She's a Billy Graham Mormon. With the advent of TV and the advent of Billy Graham, my mom had been watching him ever since.
Oh, I kind of like what he says. A lot of it corresponds with what we believe in the church.
No, it's what you want the church to believe in. That's how they get you. That's how the Antichrist got the Nephites. They told them what they wanted to hear. They said, yeah, that's how our religion should be. Yeah, that's how our religion is, according to my interpretation. And so, yeah, you get people who follow Chad Daybell, you get people who follow Denver Snuffer, you get people who follow John Dehlin, you get people who follow Russell M. Nelson. And what are the consequences? Chad Daybell is death and dismemberment, as he labels you a zombie. Denver Snuffer, you have really nothing, just spiritual documents. He doesn't even want an organization. John Dehlin, no, he's got a following with Mormon stories. He has everybody sit on his couch and share their feelings about how the Mormons betrayed them. And never does he give any balm of Gilead to soothe those wounds. But he's a psychiatrist. That's a pseudoscience. You get what you pay for. And then Nelson, Mr. Stockholm Syndrome himself, where you have to pay to play. And then you pay for your life during the coronavirus, as he refuses to follow the scriptural advice and have Mormons stay home while he takes care of us with the bishop's storehouses. Joseph of Egypt, you know, that was for a famine, that Pharaoh had a dream that was coming. And so Joseph said, hey, let's build storehouses. When the famine occurs, we'll be prepared. We had bishop storehouses from the Great Depression. We could have built more, been prepared with the increase in the population. They have trillions of dollars at their disposal. They're just hoarding it. Trillions. Trillions. But nope. They don't want to share anything during this crisis. And I've not been hearing about the number of people suffering. Lincoln Project did video today talking about the number, but no actual conditions on the ground of people dying from starvation, people being evicted from their homes. Everybody's keeping quiet about that as they're being distracted with the DNC and the RNC. And then Utah's keeping quiet about the rise in coronavirus with the school openings. That's more horrific. Instead, ABC 4 News Utah, I saw, was doing a video on how kids were sent home for not wearing a mask. As if that was supposed to be some horrible thing to send them home. So, I'm going on too long. List to obey. Let me see if I can find that scripture for you, and we'll close with that. List to obey. Mosiah. Beware lest there shall arise contentions among you, and ye list to obey the evil spirit. So Mosiah 2, that's King Benjamin's talk. Then here's an Alma. According to this, let's see. Rewards. Yeah, that they might reap their rewards according to their works, whether they were good or whether they were bad, to reap eternal happiness or eternal misery, according to the spirit which they listed to obey, whether it be a good spirit or a bad one. For every man receiveth wages of him whom he listeth to obey, and this according to the words of the spirit of prophecy. Therefore, let it be according to the truth. That's also from Alma. For they love darkness rather than light, and their deeds are evil, and they receive the wages of whom they listeth to obey. Doctrine and Covenants 29:45. So I'll do a video title, something like this.